did the Lakers establish themselves as the team to beat. It was a night when they were honoring Kobe Bryant, the day after his 42nd birthday on 8/24, August 24th. The Lakers in honoring him in so many different ways, among them by just flat playing great right from the opening tip-off. This one essentially over before it began. LeBron James and company locked in. And early on, it's a 7-0 lead, and LeBron says, oh, I'm going to add to that. 10-0 in the first 3 minutes in favor of the Lakers, and they were just getting started. It's an 11-point game. It's Anthony Davis. The turnaround plus the free throw. He had 18 points in just 17 minutes. Had to leave with back spasms. That's worth watching. But then the Lakers with the ball movement. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Lakers shot 56% for the night, and in that moment, it was 24-8. A poetic moment on a night with so many tributes to Kobe Bryant. To the third quarter we go, and the Lakers are just pouring it on. LeBron James from the logo. 36 feet for LeBron. He was 4 of 5 from three-point range, showing no conscience whatsoever. 30 points, 10 assists on the night for LeBron. Their lead was 38, middle of the third. Damian Lillard has been so good since the restart, but it appears it's about to end here, and it may have ended last night as he lands awkwardly, clearly pain in the knee. He would leave and not return. He had 11. Lakers, meanwhile, didn't need any help. 18 off the bench for Kyle Kuzma. Lakers showing out on Kobe Day, but after it was over, LeBron's mind was in a lot of other places.
Quite frankly, it's just up in our community. And us, I know people get tired of hearing me say it, but we are scared as black people in America. Black men, black women, black kids, we are terrified because you don't know. You have no idea.
So LeBron James, certainly not the only one in the sports world and well beyond whose mind was on the shooting in Kenosha, Wisconsin, and we will have a full discussion on that later this morning on Get Up. But I will begin here with the basketball piece of the conversation, and Kendrick Perkins and Tim Legler getting up with us early this morning. And Legs, I will start with you. After what was sort of a wake-up call, perhaps, in Game 1, in your mind, have the Lakers now, as we look at how everybody is playing, clearly established themselves to you as the team to beat for the championship?
Yeah, I think it's logical to put them as the favorite right now. I thought last night might have been the best overall performance I've seen from any team since the restart because they had power, they had skill, they shot it well, which is not something they normally do every night. Their defense was suffocating. They just played with an energy and a quickness and an athleticism last night that just made them look so dominant. Look, I personally think that there's still roadblocks in their way, but I think it's logical to say that they probably now have moved to the head of the class with the way that they've played. I think what happened to the Lakers was they just didn't have anything meaningful to play for in those 8 games, and they were using it as preseason. And then the first game, they ran into a red-hot team that had just come off of basically playing 8 playoff games. So they got caught, and now they're starting to now match their intensity with their play. And the biggest thing was if they're going to make 16 threes, you have a real problem with the Lakers because that's the one thing that you're counting on if you defend against them that they're going to be inconsistent with.
Yeah, actually 17 last night, 17 of 39 from three-point range for the Lakers. That's over 43%. Big Perk, same question to you. The Clippers are struggling like crazy with Dallas. Milwaukee has been a tad uneven, though they won big yesterday. Do the Lakers look like the best team in the bubble to you right now?
Absolutely, Greeny. They had to give us a friendly reminder that they are. And this is when the championship experience kick in. The Lakers had the most championship experience more than any other team in the NBA. And when you watch guys like Danny Green, who had 14 points, who was playing terrific on the defensive end, getting tip offensive rebounds, a guy like JaVale McGee, who finished with 8-8 and was protecting the rim. The guy was jumping off a pogo stick. And then we had to get another reminder that LeBron James and Anthony Davis are the most dominant duo in the NBA. Anthony Davis had a plus 37 in 17 minutes. He dominated in 17 minutes, a plus 37. That's unheard of. And then you know what happened with LeBron? He got tired of hearing about Luka. He got jealous. That's what happened, and he came out like a freight train. We seen the 4.4 speed last night, Greeny. We seen him take it to another level, him making a statement, pulling up from the logo. I mean, look, when you see this Lakers team, people were concerned. I wasn't because they know it's a marathon and not a sprint.
Timmy, let me ask you, going back to the shooting, because that obviously is an important part. The Lakers shot 56% from the floor last night. Some nights you're just going to have it, and some nights you're not, I suppose. But have you seen an adjustment they have made? That first game, they couldn't throw the ball in the ocean, and we talked about it, you and I, that morning following. Have you seen some sort of adjustment they've made as far as why it is that all of a sudden they're getting such good looks and knocking them down?
Well, if you went back and compared last night to the first 3 games in the series, there's no question they had better looks. LeBron James was in large part responsible for that because he just completely dominated them in the paint the previous game. So they were trying to do the best they can to build a little bit more of a wall, and as a result, it's going to be harder to close out to those shooters. But if you look at the way he was getting the ball to shooters last night with that kind of velocity, with that kind of accuracy, you make guys like Caruso and Kuzma and KCP and all of those supporting players better three-point shooters if they have an extra count when they catch the ball. So I just thought their looks were so clean last night. Danny Green also, I don't want to omit him. So for me, it was just the quality of the shots that they were getting. And that's the problem when you play this team. If you don't, if you stay close to shooters, you now have a problem protecting the paint against LeBron and AD. That's the dilemma with this team.
And what is the value at this point, Perk? Again, Anthony Davis leaving the game with the back spasms. We don't know exactly what that'll be. LeBron at 35. What is the value of putting away a series quickly inside the bubble? It's such a different environment than we're accustomed to. But you're seeing some of these teams getting stretched out. Houston getting pushed by Oklahoma City. The Clippers getting a significant push from Dallas. How important is it in your mind, Big Perk, that they put this thing away in 5 and get some rest?
Oh, it is very important, Greeny. They have to come out with that same mindset that they've been having and jump on them like a pack of hyenas. One thing about the Lakers since game 1, their defense have been on point. They have really shut Dame Lillard and C.J. McCollum and the Portland Trail Blazers down since game 1, game 2, and game 3. And they got to have that mindset going into game 5 and close this series out. Period, point blank.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.